afternoon, everyone. This is Joe Henson with Beyond the Chart, and this is the Stock Trade Ideas. Today, from the week of June 23rd, 2014. Today is Sunday, June 22nd, Sunday afternoon. Hope everyone's having a great weekend. We're going to walk through three trade ideas that we exited last week, three that we're currently in, and then two new trade ideas for the coming week. Okay, we're going to start off with FireEye. Now, we got into FireEye right here on the 9th, June 9th, and bought calls. And then we originally, the scenario was, I felt that this had retraced and pulled back quite a bit, actually, and that I was looking for a retracement of at least 23.6%, if not 38% of the move. But then the other scenario that I was looking at in here was that, we'd already had this move. We were starting to now get closes back above the 10 across the 21. We're getting closes above the 21. And I thought we might, at a minimum, get a move equal to this leg, okay? So that this leg would equal this leg. So my initial target was that we get to 40. Well, as we got up close into 40, we got back up into this resistance in here, we started getting these little doji bars, which kind of told me, okay, maybe this thing is stalling out. Then on the 19th, I got this bar where we, excuse me, pardon my voice today, it's a little bit hoarse. Sinuses are driving me crazy, but an outside, what I call an outside down bar. Okay, so it's an outside bar because the bar went to a higher high and a lower low than the previous day. I mean, here, let me blow it up a little bit for you. Okay, so you can see that. And then it closed below. And then actually the close that day was 37.72, which was below that close and was actually below this close by 1 penny and was below this close. And so a lot of times when I see an outside down bar and it closes below the low of the last 2 days, much less the last 3 days, that is kind of a key reversal bar to me. Now, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but if I'm sitting on profit and I see something like that, why am I going to sit there and just go, oh, but I really want to get to 40. I really want to get to 40. Now, yeah, I could have said, well, let's sell half or whatever, but I decided to go ahead and grab all the profit. And then the next day it's sold off. It closed a little bit lower. We'll see what happens. But anyway, we had a nice profit. It was 69% profit in these handful of days. So can't complain about that. Now 3D Systems, on the other hand, this is driving me a little bit crazy. We got in with puts here, got a signal, and again, the 10 was crossing below the 21. I still felt like, and I still feel like that we have more to the downside here on 3D Systems, but we'll see what happens. So we got in puts here on the 11th. Well, then instead of continuing to sell off, it reversed and closed back above. And, then actually it hit this point where I said, okay, I'm out if it hits, X on the price. And so we got out this day and got stopped out. We had like a 48% loss in just, 3 days or 4 days, I guess it was. So this is very frustrating, but I think, and the reason I didn't reverse and go long like I did once before back in here on 3D Systems is because I still just have this overall feeling like we haven't gone far enough. And what's bothering me is that I think we have an ABC zigzag that's playing out, and I don't think the C has gone long enough. I'm thinking that C at a minimum is going to go 100% equal to A, and that's this level down here at 40. So, that's why I didn't reverse and go long into calls right now. So I'm just kind of watching this. So anyway, that was the trade we got out of last week. I did not get back into it. Let's look at Melco Crown Entertainment. Now, Melco is another one that's, there's a lot of cross currents going on right now. And I'm seeing this in a lot of different stocks. You've had these moves down, then they're kind of like making these retracement back, and there's a little bit of this. Is it a corrective move, or is it the start of a new move to the upside? And that's the dilemma that I think we're in here. So here we had the 10 cross below the 21, and I thought, okay, I'm going to go ahead. It was breaking below the low of these 2 days after it had traded above the 10, and I went ahead and bought puts in here. And then does it continue? No, it comes back around and closes back above the 10. So I thought, okay, I'm thinking that this may have gone far enough. And let me look at it. What I did was I look at this and say, okay, this is a flat because this was a 3-wave A. Okay, whenever you have a correction, I think we've had 5 full waves up here, and you get 3 waves, that tells you it's going to be a flat from an Elliott wave perspective. So then you get a B. B comes all the way back up to the start of A. That's exactly typical of a flat. Well, then you're looking for where is C going to end. So you kind of take down to the bottom of A, come back to the beginning of B, and you measure out, and you're looking for 100, 138.2 or 161.8. Well, here we are. And, so I think C has gone far enough in terms of a correction. So actually what I want to do is I'll probably, copy this, put this down here, paste, and then we're going to edit this, and I'm going to call this C. All right, so I think that that's what we've got, and so now I think that we could be in pushing to the upside and getting ready to go. Let me get rid of this, the Fibonacci. So if that's the case, then let's take a look at what are we looking at. I like the crosshairs so much better in terms of lining up. Here's a trend line. We are right at the trend line. Okay, now that's taking it from the beginning. I guess you could take one from here to here also, but taking it from here to here, we're right at the trend line. We've got a couple of closes above the 10, and I'm gambling that we've gone far enough in here, and we've got the closes above the 10, and we're going to continue to push to the upside. So we'll see if that's what we get on Melco. So we exited out of the puts. I can't remember. I think we had a 25% loss on them. And anyway, the information's on the Trade Ideas webpage. So I'm just not looking at it right now. And then now we're into the calls. So that's what we're currently at. So that's the first one that we're currently into. Let's go ahead and look at Chihu 360. Chihu 360, again, it looks like it's trying to turn in here. It looks like we could be bottoming in like a little bit of a head and shoulders type bottom in here. We've got the 10 above the 21 and the 20, and both of those have now crossed above the 55. This black is the 55, the really dark blue. Doesn't matter to me because I'm partially colorblind. So, I mean, I can make out the colors, but when it gets into the dark shades, forget about it. All right. So when you look at this, we went long in here around 62, and the timing of that wasn't so great. And so now we've pulled back. I think I've currently got a stop on a close below this low. Working the prior 2-day lows in here. So we'll see. A lot of times after you initially get across of the moving averages type thing, you get a pullback. And I don't know. It just looks like this wants to go, but you never know. So that's why we know where we're going to be wrong, and we know what we're trying to do. So that's all you can do when you set up the trade. Okay. Let's see, and the very next one is Yokou Tudu. Similar type thing. Okay, we've had this big corrective move. I think we had 5 big waves up on Yokou, and I think we had an A, B. Again, I think we got a flat because this was a 3-wave in here, not a 5. So I felt like, okay, A, B, C, and so this was a B wave. So telling me that, I then did this measurement. So I already did it in here. So what I did, measured A, bring it back to B, and said, okay, where are we? We're well beyond 161.8% on C. So I'm thinking, okay, we're well beyond in here in terms of where C could end. So we've definitely gone long enough. And now we're getting this cross and pushing back above. Had this big reversal bar here. That held, okay, the low wasn't taken out, and now you're getting these close, you get the cross. So I thought, okay, as soon as we get this, closes back up in here, we went long on this day with calls. So we'll see what happens. And I'm a little concerned about the 55 at this kind of slanted down angle, and you're below this flat 233. We could easily get a snapback all the way up to the 233 in here. Potential resistance coming in at these points right here. So we've got to be aware of that. That's around what, 23.6, something like that. Okay, so anyway, I mean, that's where we're at on this. And again, I think I have a stop below if we get a close below the low the last 2 days. So that's how I'm trying to trail a stop, and we'll see if that works. All right, the next one we're going to talk about is two new ones for this coming week. Let's look at CRE. Now, CRE is another one that I think has undergone a big corrective move in here. And we've got an A, B, and we're working a C. Okay, but I don't think I see, I was having a hard time seeing 5 waves. The C wave in a flat and in a zigzag is going to be 5 waves. And so I was having a struggle with it. This looked like an A, B, C fourth in here to me. So as we now get a close below this 10 on Friday, I'm looking for an entry slightly down below in here. And ideally what I'm looking for is a break of this trend line and then a move down. And so I've got the specifics of the parameters on the Trade Ideas webpage. And by the way, if you're not a subscriber, just subscribe. You'll have access to that. And the PDF free PDF that I've got, the 5 essentials, and other things that we're developing. So, please subscribe. And this, let's see if there's anything else I wanted to say about this. I think that's it. All right. So now the last one that we're going to talk about is Cena. And Cena is another one. I think it's undergoing a bigger correction. Okay, I think that we've got this big, well, let me see if I can, this is the entire trading of Cena since back in 2000. And actually, I don't have it up. Yes, I do. I got at least the weekly. I know I did a monthly too. So when I looked at this on a weekly basis, I felt like, okay, this thing sold off into the bottom in 2001. And I felt like, okay, we've got a big cycle move 1 here, looks like a cycle move 2, and then looks like we're pushing into a cycle wave 3. And this is the first primary wave up of cycle wave 3. And so if now we're correcting into primary wave 2, and so my best estimate of the fact that we're in this 2 of cycle wave 3, okay? So now we're getting an A, B, C. So then now we're trying to assess if we're into an A, B, C, where is C going to end? Okay, that's what we're trying to figure out in here. And let me blow it back up. Okay, so now I think we're in this A, B, C, and we're looking again, C is 5 waves down. So I think we've got a flat in here, correction 2, and now I think we've had a 3. I think we're getting a triangle 4, and that's why now, I think we've got one more wave down. The wave may be nothing more than equal to, when I say nothing more, it'll be equal to wave 1. Well, wave 1 was 18 points. So we'll see whether or not we get a full 18 points down here if this breaks. Now, the fact that this is closing below the 10 and in here, what I'm going to do is actually, you could have gone long on Friday, short on Friday. And so what I'm thinking is that we try to go short as close as we can to the close in here. And then I got the details on the Trade Ideas webpage. So I'm looking for one more leg down to complete wave C. And the fact that we're getting this triangle wave 4 kind of, makes me have a higher degree of comfort that this truly is a 4, and then we got number 5 coming down. So that's the picture on Cena. Those are the 2 new trade ideas for the week. That's it for today. Everyone have a great the rest of the weekend, and have a great Monday, Tuesday. I'll talk to you all on Tuesday night. This has been Joe for Beyond the Chart. Thanks for stopping by.